Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining the Iowa Association of Business and Industry's weekly business report. This week, we have Emily Schmitt, who is the Chief Administrative Officer and General Counsel of Sukup Manufacturing, and she is also the chair of the Governor's Child Care Task Force. So, Emily, as chair of the Governor's Child Care Task Force, what are some of your key takeaways about how to make childcare in Iowa sustainable?
Thank you for having me. And this is a huge problem. And COVID really just highlighted it. It was already there. We've had it, but I'm really glad that it's brought up to be discussed. And the thing to make it sustainable is really that businesses need to be partners in childcare. This is something that I also think is a bipartisan issue. On one side of the aisle, it is talked about as being a fundamental right. And on the other side of the aisle, it is about job creation. So either side, we all agree we need to come to the table and address it. But in order to make it sustainable, we need to have businesses involved. We need all the agencies' help. We need the government's help, and we need everyone just helping find solutions for that. And the practical answer to that question is also just streamlining everything that we can for the childcare businesses. So bringing ideas to the table from the task force. One of the favorite recommendations is really how can we reduce the recurring expenses for childcare centers so that they can spend more money on wages for their employees. And we're doing a couple of those for bringing shared services up to the state so that payroll, background checks, different things like that, we can be done at the state level so that it's taken off their plate at the childcare center. So it was a fun discussion of think of it as a parent corp and a subsidiary industry. What things do we have the parent corp do to alleviate costs for the subsidiary? So that was sort of the insight that the industry members had discussions on, so that your members can relate to that as well.
And you mentioned a lot about how we need businesses to get involved in the conversation. How does the issue of childcare affect the workforce?
Well, here at Sukup, we've seen it just the past couple months as well. We had one of 3 childcare centers closed, only giving 1 month notice. And an employee had to leave her job here, and she's taking care of multiple other employees' kids here too. And the workforce needs to be able to have regular, accessible, reliable, and quality childcare resources, because otherwise parents are just stressing to find that childcare center. But also they need to know that the child is taken care of. And we are Iowans and we work hard. And there's lots of businesses that have off shift hours. So we're really going to have to also increase access to shifts before 7 a.m. before school. And also second shift workers like nurses. We've seen through the pandemic that the healthcare profession needs to be supported. And it's really hard to find childcare centers that will do second shift childcare as well.
And during her Condition of the State address, Governor Kim Reynolds highlighted the Child Care Challenge grant program and how that helped create 4,000 new child care spots. And the hope is that with the expansion of the program, we can create 5,000 more openings across the state. So what can we learn about this funding investment and how the funding structure has to be?
Yeah, there was so many different funding from different areas coming in, and it was really just monumental, just trying to figure out what it could be spent on, where it was coming from, and where the dollars really going to impact the most. And this program highlighted the pent up need and will hopefully serve as a transformational investment in childcare infrastructure in Iowa. And by layering the childcare challenge grants with the additional funding available from DHS, there was actually 108 new awards that were announced in January, totaling $36.5 million and creating 5,200 new childcare slots in Iowa. And the range of projects from applicants demonstrates the diverse and unique needs of specific communities, because it's not a one silver bullet for solving this. And that's why Iowa's grassroots strategy to solving the childcare shortage is so important, because all of them were very different. And when solutions are identified locally and public and private partnerships are really leveraged to help advance and implement them, the impact to the community is magnified. Some of the examples of the most recent finding include expanding in-home care, building new childcare centers, creating classrooms for children with special needs, but then also opening an employer-based on-site childcare facility for healthcare workers. I know Vermeer, a great ABI member company, has an on-site one that their Tractor Academy, but also, other awards are just really focusing on providing quality, affordable care for children living in or transitioning from a family shelter. So there's many awards that really are helping so many members and families out there.
And finally, how can ABI members continue to contribute to the conversations around childcare? I know it's an ongoing issue, and we have this task force, we have members of the workforce and businesses kind of coming together. So, what can we do to continue to drive this conversation?
Go to your communities and find out what are the needs for your community, because some communities we've heard that there's childcare slots open, they just can't be maximized because they need more workers. In Sheffield, Iowa, where we are, we need to open new childcare centers because they're maxed out at what they're allowed to do. So each community is different. So find the needs for your communities, have the conversations, and then look at what can you provide. For us, we're trying to use our relationships, bringing people together, and then we're looking to financially support it for the best of our community. And finally, read the report, be informed, because there are a lot of misinformation out there. I saw, the ratios has been discussed a lot, but I haven't seen, a consistent of accurate information of the ratios. So read the report, be ready to combat misinformation, and have those conversations with local community members for the needs in your areas.
Great. Thank you so much for your time. And members who want to read the report, you can find the link to that on our website at www.iowaabi.org. Thank you.
Thank you.